Come on, guys? ChaseWins.com. Saturday, June the 18th, 2022. Happy Saturday, everybody. Real quick, we'll touch on a couple of things. Been out of town the past few days dealing with the Cal Ripken stuff, so success there. Anybody that's tried to reach out to us on Twitter, I didn't realize that. I guess we responded to somebody on the staff responded to a direct message sometime a week or so ago that apparently was a fake account that was out trying to spam people. And stuff like that. And we don't take payments through social media, so we weren't at any, major risk of anything. We were at risk of the overall Twitter account being hacked to where they could, post stuff or delete the account or respond to comments or whatever. We don't see any of that took place. We weren't made aware of any of that. But what apparently this was, and again, we didn't know it because we always look at accounts. And if it's not somebody that we've had prior communication with or that, we don't follow or that we don't know for sure who it is, somebody reaching out, whether it's to, ask a question regarding, the firm or packages or anything, whatever it is, a promo that we've got going on, doesn't matter. We always, if we do not know the person and have not had communication with that particular account prior to that, we always, view the profile. If we can't view the profile, a lot of times we request that we can before we go on and truly engage. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't say, hi, how are you? Or, hey, can we have access to viewing your profile if it is private, which a lot of times isn't the case. But we won't even respond if it's not someone that, no profile picture, not following anyone but us, has 0 followers, no profile picture, no tweets, no nothing. And it's like, okay, this could potentially be a spam account, whatever. But nothing like that has arose. So this was apparently a very good spam account with, I don't know if it was pretending to be someone else or something else, but either way, it apparently hacked over like 2,200 accounts. Ours just so happened to be one of the ones that was at risk, they say. But from what we were told by Twitter that reached out was that what this account was attempting to do was attack accounts that sold things directly through a Twitter link. So meaning that you can take payments through Twitter, just kind of like you can Instagram or Facebook. Or there is a direct payment link on that Twitter that they could then access and then try to hack the back end of or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a computer hacker. So we do not do that. We never have. We have never accepted payments through Twitter or any other social media site before. We have given people instructions as to how to sign up and how to pay on the site. But again, that's not what they were after. So luckily nothing happened to us. The Twitter account is fine, but we did have to go with it being shut down for like 9 days, almost 10 full days. We just got it back late last night, so we are going through tons of DMs, comments, messages, everything. So, we've already seen a few from this morning where somebody had reached out a few days ago, and then within an hour there had not been a response, and within 3 hours we had 5 different DMs from them being like, oh, you just ignore people. First off, we don't ignore anybody. Number 2, even if what happened didn't happen, you got to give us more than an hour, man, because we get between emails and DMs across multiple social platforms, we're talking upwards of 1,000 messages a day between the main email, my team's emails, Twitter DMs, Instagram, all this stuff. You're talking upwards of 1,000 messages a day. I don't have a staff of 20 people just doing messages. And I won't. That's absurd because 99% of the time this is something where they're asking something they already know. And they just are being lazy about it. No offense, but that's the case. Hey, it's the society we live in. Or them asking something that 10 seconds of research or just the video that you were watching, if you just watched one more minute into it, it would have laid it all out for you and you would not have had to message it in the first place. So do your due diligence. That way you're not having to wait on something. But no matter what, we'll always reach back out to you, but we do it in the order in which the messages come in. That's how we've always done it. That's how it will always be done. I'm not going to jump the line just because I open it up and say, okay, let me start from the top. Because if I got to go down through 40 messages and there's somebody that sent something in 24 hours prior versus somebody 24 minutes prior, I am going to take care of the people that have been waiting the longest, period. And that's how everybody here does it. So anyway, been out of town this week, dealing with the Cal Ripken stuff. That's been great. But Twitter is back live. We have not officially made a tweet as of right now. But again, it's only 5 minutes to 1. So there will be tweets later this afternoon once we lock everything in for the card. I did not like any of the 1 p.m. games. There's a couple of the 4 p.m. games I'm still looking at. Nothing super, super strong at this moment. I mean, there are a couple that I like the Phillies Nationals game at 4:30. I like the game. I like the way the game's set up. I may have a little money on it, but at this moment, I cannot find a large enough edge per just the numbers themselves, the matchup itself. You have to take out of the fact that just, Philly's here and Washington's here overall as a team. It's this matchup, it's this game that means everything. That's the only thing that matters, not where the teams are at and how they've played up to this point. It's this matchup. It's this starting 9 that's going to go out. It's this pitcher with these relievers, so on and so forth. And I don't know that over the course of the next 90 minutes, which will be about as long as I can take on that game before having to get it posted and released out to all the clients, that I'm going to find anything, because I've gone over it 3 different times. At this moment, it is not something that I'll release. But if 4 p.m. games get released, great. As of this moment, no. But as far as the games that are at 7:15, so basically your 7 p.m. games and later, that's where I love it. The action today in the evening, the late evening, and the late night games on point for today. I have already officially all but locked in one. There is a game going on late tonight in which there is one pitcher for one team that is undecided at this moment. Now, I can look at based on how they run their rotation and how they've done their scheduling over the past 2 weeks since this particular team made their big shift, which at this point, all but 2 teams across the major leagues have made their big, almost mid-season shifts, if you will, because we're only a few weeks out from the All-Star break, or about a month out from the All-Star break. So they've made these shifts, they've made these changes. That's where you had that couple of days of just you as a fan watching it going, wow, this is going the exact opposite of what I would have originally thought. Those are during those changes. Now you have to basically relearn everything that you learn, but that's when we make the most money, and we prove that during that time, making over 25 units across 2 days, one day over 15 units of profit in Major League Baseball alone. But I am the MLB king, so what did you expect? Last week, a huge, huge week. I mean, going well over 65% for the week, making over 25 units of pure profit across the board. I mean, MLB was just absolutely fantastic again, but as was NBA, as was the NHL, and today we have a big, big play, and we get to announce something kind of for the second time this month, but if you weren't involved in it the last time, you'll get what I'm saying. So we have a game of the month going tonight. Now, everybody knew going into this week from Tuesday through Thursday, I would not be doing any videos. I did plan on doing one yesterday, but by the time I got the card completed and got to the point where I could before I started working on breaking down every bit of Saturday's card, I was just like, man, I'm not going to have that much time to get it out. The free play that I would have given out, it would have only allowed for about 60, 90 minutes at best to get the plays in and be able to view the video. And I'll be honest with you, just the traveling and being out, doing all that, along with working throughout that entire process, I was beat. I wanted a few hours just to kick back, relax, watch a little baseball, and just chill before I had to start working on Saturday's card, which I knew was potentially going to be big. And then what's even bigger, in terms of just general size, is looking like Sunday could end up being, it looks like it's going to end up being, if everything goes the way that it should and that I think that it will, and that it's, that it has the trajectory that it's on now, it will end up being the biggest overall day of the week, which is great because why not end the week like that? Plus, it's Father's Day. So we'll touch on that in just a second. But tonight, we have a game of the month. Now, some of you might be saying, wait a minute, didn't I see you say you had an MLB game of the month going like a week or so ago that you guys posted online? We didn't get to put it on Twitter, but we put it on the YouTube community page and stuff like that. Unfortunately, that happened right around the time that our Twitter account got shut down, if you will, or locked, that Twitter did just as a precaution until they got all that handled. So again, apologize for that, but there was nothing we could have done. And we'll touch on a issue with our site that some of you guys may be having, and we'll show you we'll tell you about it. That way you have no risk, no worry, no nothing. But yes, there was a game of the month announced. And yes, there was a game of the month released. But in that, as I do at least 60 to 70% of all my big releases like that, a lot of times you'll see out beside the play, see notes. And that means the game notes that I have listed, kind of like my written breakdown of the game, whether I touch on why I like it. A lot of times it's more instructional of what you need to do, how you need to place that wager, how you need to position yourself from an investment standpoint to make sure that you are doing it exactly the way that I have done it, exactly the way you are expected to do it, and to ensure that the win is going to be the win you should have, making the most money, getting the most profit, getting just the most out of that play, period. Well, in those notes, it was telling you about not only how I wanted you to wager it as far as buying that little half, we're playing a totals play. I'll give that much away. I mean, it's not like it matters. We didn't play the game at all because pitchers change. But that is a game. And a lot of times I won't tell you to mark pitchers. And if I don't, that's because I am 150% certain that those pitchers will start. And there's no reason for me to list it out for you because you don't need to. That's who's going to start, period. But there are times where if I notice that there's even the slightest possibility of a change before the start of the game, if I notice that there is another pitcher that has warmed up or gotten loose. Now you might think, okay, spot starter going in, they want to start getting loose now just so they can be ready to go by the second inning or by the start of the third inning, whatever. That was a situation in that particular game where I noticed that another pitcher who I assumed would be a middle reliever, but I was actually looking at him as the second middle reliever to the start of the closing, as long as the starting pitcher got to go 5 full innings and, at least get through maybe a third of the 6th inning. Who knows? Maybe go farther than that. But they could get through 5, and then you would have 2 relievers come in and get at least 1 1/3 inning apiece, and that's where you would start your closing. When I noticed him come out to warm up, I said, man, it's early. Let's just see if maybe he's stretching. And then he starts throwing. And he's not throwing a weighted ball, and he's not doing things that look like a pitcher that is preparing for a start the following day, preparing for something a couple of hours from now, preparing for something, 45 minutes from now. He is out there warming up side by side for the person that is actually marked as tonight's starting pitcher, as that night's starting pitcher. And I said, that's odd. This guy literally starts throwing and gets maybe 4 tosses in before the other guy's out there throwing 10 feet from him. That sparked interest, and I said, okay, something is weird here. And so I called a friend of mine who was actually on site there. I said, are they just still out in right field playing long toss, where they'll back up every couple of throws and make it longer and longer and longer? It's a way pitchers warm up. I said, when they go into the bullpen or go back into the dugout, will you just confirm the starter? And about 15 minutes later, I got a phone call saying they're both in the dugout or in the bullpen, and they're both throwing from elevation now. It means throwing from from a mound where they're actually facing downward to get that feeling. They're both doing it side by side. He's like, if you're thinking what I'm thinking, I said, I am. That means either one of these guys could start. Luckily, I had already said in the write-up that I wanted you to buy it from that number down to an even number. You weren't paying a ton to do it, but mark these two starting pitchers, because if both of these guys, not just one, both of these guys have to start to make this the true game of the month. Otherwise, it wouldn't be, and we need to make sure that bets get canceled. So I told everybody, so if you followed it, which seems like everybody did, I haven't had anybody say outright that they didn't, that bet would have been canceled. So you place your big 7-unit wager, no harm, no foul. It gets canceled. You get all your money back. You don't lose anything. But for the people that did purchase the game for $99, you were still out that $99. I gave everybody the option to get a 7-day all sports pass starting that next day, or to just wait, and you could either get, the next game of the month that's released, the next 2 game of the week plays, or however you want to do it. So we got in touch with everybody over the next 24 hours, got everybody situated, and I said, there is a game that I like, but it's way, it's too far out in the future to know for sure, but I am still hopeful that we can release and actually have a game of the month for Major League Baseball that is released, played, and cashed before the month of June is over, so that we don't, miss a month with one. So this week, looking into games of the week and month, the game of the week isn't locked in yet. That is actually a game that, as I said on Monday's video, was a week-ending game on Sunday. Still very hopeful for that. But tonight's game of the month is tonight, and good thing for you is that it's one of the latest games on the board. There's 2 or 3 games that start at like 10:10 or 10:15, whatever it is. I'm not going to tell you which game that it's in. I'm not going to tell you if it's a side or total. I'm not going to tell you anything else other than it is a game, one of those few games that start just after 10 p.m. It is one of those games. So the purchase link will be on the site until then, or until 10 p.m. is when we're going to pull it down. Now, speaking of the website, you might be saying, well, I've gone to the website over the past handful of days, and when you go, you might get a message pop up before it takes you to the site saying, hey, this site might be impersonating this site, and you get some of those. That is a message that will pop up for one of 2 reasons. An SSL certificate was showing that you are legally allowed to sell online, and that you are protected, and that you are doing everything, legally as it should be done. And when those expire once every year or 2 years, or however you have it set up in your country, that message will pop up if you haven't updated it and posted the new certificate. And then as soon as you do, that message goes away. Well, our message popped up, and we're thinking, wait a minute, I don't think it's expired. So we contacted the person, the web host, just like you see any websites out there. ESPN is hosted by Amazon servers. So most people do not host their own sites. They own the real estate, but they don't do the hosting of them, and keep them online 24/7, so on and do things like that for security. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't expire until July of 2023. So after talking to multiple people, like what's going on here, we did run everything. We got in touch with the web host. There is no threat to the website whatsoever. There is no threat to your financial information for 2 reasons. Number 1, nothing's wrong with the site. Number 2, we do not store your information. We use a separate iFraud prevention credit card processor that does everything. You type it in on our site, but you're not punching your number into our website. It's going through a third-party processor, the same one that does Yahoo, the same one that does Amazon, the same one that does it if you go and you want to use fanatics.com to order, hats, jerseys, whatever. same server. iFraud on every transaction to ensure that your information does not get put out there by anybody. Everything is fully insured and backed, and we have confirmed 1,000 times over you are safe to purchase on that site. There is a team of IT people, because it is an issue with the web host, not our site. We have confirmed that. We kept thinking it was on our end. It is not. That is 100% confirmed. So you are safe to buy on the site. That is a guarantee. Not even a question. 150% you can, and you are at no risk whatsoever in doing so. If you're safe right now buying on Amazon, which I'm sure you feel comfortable with, you can have just as much confidence, if not more, in ours. I can assure you of that. But until this issue is resolved with the web host, because apparently it's affecting over 1 million websites. I'm not talking about just websites in the industry. It may not be affecting anybody else in this industry that are hosted by that same very large web hosting service. There is, 3 out there that host 95% of them. So it is affecting a lot of people right now, not just us. But I understand that if you see a warning message like, hey, it might be an impersonator or whatever, you're still logging in to look at the plays. So if they wanted to get you on something, they could. If it was some type of, nefarious type thing, which it's not. Anybody that's logged into the site should know that by now. But if that warning makes you feel uncomfortable to where you do not want to use a credit card and purchase on the website, I understand. I'm not mad at you. But you do want to get on a package, or you do want to get on tonight's game of the month, or you're going to want to get on the Father's Day promotion that we run tomorrow that will be released at midnight tonight. So make sure you check your email inbox for that, because it will be something that we've never done before. It's going to be 1 day and 1 day only. It's going to allow you to not only get what gets put out tomorrow in terms of premium plays, daily top plays, hopefully the MLB game of the week, NASCAR, which is at Nashville tomorrow, which was number 3 overall in terms of, single week profitability for last year's NASCAR season, coming off of 2 very profitable, one profitable, one very profitable week the week prior, but overall almost 25 units of pure profit made in NASCAR alone just over the last 2 races. And we're coming up to what was number 3 on the list in terms of overall per race profitability for 2021 was the Nashville race, which I think was the first time they had been there ever last year, or it had been a long time. I don't know. Patrick could tell you. But not just to get all that, but to get so much more than that and get it at a price that is going to surprise you. So you're going to want to get on that. But instead of using your hard-earned money, why not use profit to buy it? Now, you don't know what it is yet. You're not going to know till midnight, but trust me, you're going to want it. Then you want to get on the game of the month for tonight. $99, and it comes with, as always, the best pure profit guarantee in the business. You win or you get 7 days of all plays across all sports, premium and daily top plays, absolutely free. So, if you do not want to buy directly on the site, which you can, that message when it pops up, you just click go to the site anyway, whatever. Once you do that and it takes you to the site, that message won't come up when you use that browser anymore. It'll be gone because it will know that you went to the site, nothing bad happened, now there's no threat to you, you're good to go, you'll never see that message again. But there's some of you that still may not feel comfortable in purchasing. That's fine. If you would rather use a different form of payment to ensure that you're not doing it through the website, you can. We have a company Venmo that we will accept. I will put the Venmo handle, so it's kind of like Twitter where it uses an @ symbol into the name. It's just @V for Venture Sports. So @V Sports. And I will put and when you find us on Venmo, you'll see the logo, the Venture Sports Consulting logo that's on Twitter, that you see put on emails sometimes, that you see on my shirt sometimes. Same logo. You'll see it so you know it's us. You can go. You can purchase it. You don't even have to tell us that you're about to purchase it. If you already have an account at chasewins.com, you can go, find us on Venmo, send us $100 even, 100, and in the where you would put your notes saying that you're purchasing something, or like, hey, it's for gas or food or whatever. We don't want you to type anything except for your username for chasewins.com. So the username that you have for chasewins.com, that's all we want in that notes section, if you will. And then every single time accounting sees it come in, they're going to pick up the phone, they're going to call sales and say, hey, ABC123 username, sending $100 for the game of the month. Now you do need to put GA or GOTM, stands for game of the month. So all capital letters, GOTM hyphen, and then your username. That's it. When you send that payment in, we receive it. In 5 minutes or less, your account on Chase Wins will be activated for the game of the month, and you will then also receive an email the second that it's activated, letting you know that you've been activated, so you can go ahead and log in, get your game of the month because you'll have instant access, lock in your play, and wait for it to start, and you don't have to be logging in to check, okay, have they activated it yet? You need to give us 5 minutes. A lot of times it'll be done in less than 90 seconds, but just because it does take a minute for sometimes Venmo where it takes it from you to actually get to us. That may take 60 seconds. And then it may take 60 seconds for, accounting to relay it to sales and them to log in, pull up your account, and then another 60 seconds to add it to your account, save it, update it, and email you out. It's going to be a generic email. But it may take 3 or 4 minutes. So give us 5 minutes. You will get an email the second that you were activated, and you'll be good to go. If you want something besides a game of the month, or you want multiple packages, you can list those out. The prices are as they are on the website, and we're also going to offer this tomorrow. So you will be able to buy that Father's Day special through Venmo if you so choose. You can use the website. Hear me when I say this. You can use the website. You do not have to go through Venmo. But I know there are some people that are like, I just get really weird, or I'm using my company's internet access or whatever. I don't want to take any chances. I get it. Fair enough. No problem. Use Venmo. We'll get you activated immediately. You have till 10 p.m. tonight. There's going to be myself included, along with 5 other staff members monitoring this at all times. If you need to reach out with any questions regarding this of like, hey, just to confirm this is you, or can you send me your QR code for Venmo, whatever, do not do it through email, because we are already being flooded with emails regarding the game of the month and the email that we sent out about 30 minutes ago. Do it through Twitter, send a DM, and we've got people that are obviously going through all of those backdated DMs from when the account was locked. But we're going to have one person just following the new stuff coming in, so that if it is regarding a new package or the new anything for tonight, game of the month or else for tonight, you will get a response. Depending on how busy the traffic is, you will get a response within 30 minutes. Rest assured. If you need to reach out or you have any questions, and then at midnight tonight, if you're on the email list or you have an account at the site, you'll get an email regarding the massive Father's Day special that we're going to run, so on and so forth, and you'll have the ability to purchase it. It'll come with a link that'll take you to it if you want to use the site. Again, you can use Venmo, all that. You'll know what it comes with, all the details at midnight. But the game of the month tonight, I think first pitch is set for 10:10 p.m. on the East Coast, but we're just to be safe, we're going to pull the thing down. We're going to start working on pulling the purchase link down at 10:05 p.m. So right about 10:10 is when it's going to be down. So to be safe, make sure that you complete your purchase, whether it be on the site, whether it be Venmo. If you absolutely had to use Cash App or PayPal, we do have those. We don't prefer to use them because we get hit with massive corporate fees, but we can if that's the only thing you have and you do want to get on the game of the month. So we will accommodate. We prefer Venmo though. So whichever you want to do it by 10 p.m. because at 10 p.m. that's when people are going to stop monitoring the Venmo and all that stuff. But a couple of free plays tonight. We are going to go with multiple underdog plays First one, I like St. Louis tonight. I hate saying that, but I just do not feel like Boston's pitcher is ready for what St. Louis is doing. They're up and coming huge right now. I'm going to take two underdogs, St. Louis money line plus $1.10, and I'm also going to take the Diamondbacks plus $1.15 on the money line. Two free plays, two underdogs. Game of the month tonight. See you in the winner's circle. Good luck.